Hi Flosstube, this is Tina Frazier from Columbus, Ohio. A little shopkeeping or housekeeping information or tidbit here for you. I'd like to thank you, those of you out there in Flosstube land who have subscribed to my videos so far, and to shout out one or two people that I have come to know fairly recently, whether I've been just watching your videos or I've met you. I'd specifically like to give a shout out to BluebirdStitches. She is a lady that has been coming to the Wednesday night stitch group at my local needlework shop, Cross My Heart. She's a really nice lady. She has some funny quips and some life stories that she tells, and if you get a chance and you haven't yet, stop by her YouTube channel and watch some of her Flosstube videos. She's pretty funny and she's really super nice, and her Mirabilia queen that she's working on is pretty stunning. She does some awesome work. So if you get a chance, stop by. Again, her YouTube channel is BluebirdStitches. It's all one word, and the B of the bluebird and S of the stitches is capitalized. So give her a shout out or give her a visit, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to her video because she's really sweet and she tells some pretty funny stories, and she has some really interesting lifetime stories if you ever get a chance to talk with her in person. But again, I'd like to thank you, those of you that have subscribed so far. I don't have too many, but there are those of you out there who have subscribed, and I really appreciate it. And I really hope that you would invite your friends, tell your friends, and let them know that I'm here. Because, you know, the more the merrier, and I'd really like to reach out and help anybody that I think can get some benefit out of what I have to talk about. So anyway, I have my my overhead light kind of shining towards me tonight, which is why the lighting in here looks a little different. I hope I'm not too washed out, but I'm hoping to show you some works in progress that I have tonight, and kind of get through my stack of them, and so hopefully the light will help you be able to see it better. If not, I may end up turning my light off, but as of right now, this is the lighting that we're going to have for tonight. So anyway, I'd like to get started. Now keep in mind, my works in progress are in no semblance of order of when I started or order of how much I have completed on them. Just know that some of these works in progress I've had for several years, some of them much longer than others, and they're, you know, all in various stages. You're going to see some Mirabilia, you're going to see some heaven and earth designs, you're going to see some basic kits that I've started, and I tend to stitch kind of about half and half for myself and also to give away as gifts. I kind of don't really stitch for money, although I have done some model stitching. I model stitched for Mirabilia for a little while. A couple of you have probably completed some of the designs I have worked on, like the Bluebell, I believe is the Bluebell Fairy was one of the ones I stitched for the models. And I just worked for stitching that my local needlework shop was coordinating for them for a little while. So I have done some model stitching. I haven't done any model stitching, gosh, it's probably been 7 years, maybe 10 years now. It's been a little while since I've model stitched, just because I haven't really had the time, haven't really been in and out of the shop as frequently as I was when I was doing it. So I haven't model stitched in a little while, but so I have, you know, I have a little bit of background. Anyway, you'll see kind of a wide range of projects. Most of my projects, especially my Mirabilias and stuff, are done on linen. That's my usual fabric of choice. My second fabric of choice would be even weave. And last but not least, I don't really care to stitch on it anymore. Not since my first linen project way back when. Once I went to linen, I never went back really. Is Aida. I don't really care for Aida much at all. I kind of wish that more colors of other fabrics were available in other places besides like my local cross stitch store or ordering online. Like I kind of wish that you know, sometimes it'd be kind of nice just to go to Joann's or Michael's if I need a light blue even weave or a gray even weave or even a green even weave to stitch a small project with. It'd be kind of nice just to go there and pick one up if I need it in, you know, like say a 15 by 20 or 13 by 15 size or whatever size they carry in those. But unfortunately, usually the only things that you're able to find are the mushroom color, which is that weird brown tan color, a natural color, and maybe like a off-white or ivory or even a white linen or Monaco or something like that. But anyway, here we go. This is my work in progress parade. I may have to stop on occasion to pause and put a couple of things away because, well, this could get kind of long. So anyway, here we go. All right, so my first one, you'll probably recognize this. I'm going to slide this back a little bit. This first work in progress I'm going to show you is currently on my scroll frame that sits on my floor frame that I stitch from usually when I'm at home stitching. This is Santa of the Forest, and this is, I don't have the outside picture because it's somewhere, but this is by MLI, and it's Santa of the Forest. This is the first part of it, Santa of the Forest by MLI. So I don't have the picture to show you, but once I put it up, you should be able to recognize it pretty well. On my scroll frame, this is my scroll frame, and this is Santa of the Forest that I have stitched so far. I'm sorry the white looks really bright. I'm sorry for the white looking really bright. But this is what I've got done so far. I'm working on this little bottom section here underneath the red. There's a little bit more of the green and some more of the red to fill in. Once I get this section done, I'm going to work on the gold metallics in the staff and in the swirl of the fabric where these open stitch spaces are here. The little swirl of the fabric going up here. There's a little bit of back stitching somewhere in this area. And I believe in the bunny, I have a little bit of back stitching to do. But then I'm gonna roll it up. If you look up here on the roll right here, this is where his beard and everything goes. So you see I haven't started stitching up there yet. I've pretty much got the bottom part of him done though. Did I put the start date on here? No, I didn't put when I started the piece. I made a working copy though. I usually make working copies of all my things. This is copyright 1993 by Told in a Garden. This is Lavender and Lace, Told in a Garden. Copyright 1993 by Marilyn Leavitt Emblem. So this is my biggest work in progress. Santa of the Forest. I hope you like it. Oh, the needle minders. I don't know where I got these, but this one here is from my cross stitch store. I'm sorry there's a lot of glare. And this one is just a heart needle minder with an arrow shot through it. I don't know where I got them. I know I got this one at my cross stitch store fairly recently, but I've had this needle minder for years, and I don't know exactly where I got it. But anyway, if you give me a short second, I'm going to go ahead and pause so I can put this back on my floor frame, and then I'll be right back. Just a second. Thanks. Okay, so I'm back. The next project I have, one of the locals, my roller derby league, the Ohio Roller Derby, sorry about that. One of the skaters who goes by the skater name of Lorraine Acid, she is, she's since graduated, but she was going through dental school here at Ohio State a couple years ago, and she had a needlework project that not a needlework, but she had a cross stitch project, that she had purchased at some point, thinking that she was going to go ahead and do it. Well, being a dental student, being in roller derby, and, you know, just having all kinds of life events going on at the time, she had no time to really stitch it and work on it. So, knowing that I like to do needlework, she asked me if I would step in and help her out. So I said, sure. This is something I probably should have finished not long after I got it. But anyway, it's a little kit. I'm not sure who the company is, but here is the cover for it. It's Weekenders. You know what? That's washing things out. I think I'm going to turn off my overhead light to see if this is any better. All right. There we go. I guess it's a little better. Anyway, so this is Weekenders. This is the little sweeper, Petite Balayeuse. I believe that's how you pronounce that in French. It's an MJ Hummel design. She gave this to me to stitch. It came with the Aida. It came with the floss. I am using the floss, but I swapped out the Aida because I don't like stitching on Aida. And I'm using an ivory even weave. I think it was just a piece that I got at Michael's. In the, I think it's Monaco even weave actually, in the little tubes that you can get. So anyway, here is my progress on that. Can you see that? I'm currently filling in the dress. I was actually working on this a little bit today. My husband and I, we belong to a local board game club called the Columbus Area Board Game Society, also known as CABS. And this weekend was the Buckeye Game Fest game convention, which was held at the Holiday Inn on North High Street in Worthington. And we were down there today playing games, and I had some downtime. So I had taken this project with me to work on, because I actually haven't stitched on this in a couple of years. And I really, since this is in my work in progress, I really just need to bite the bullet and get it done and get it to her. But here's where her arm and hand is. Her face is going to be up in here somewhere. And this part down here are her shoes. So she's not very big, but I plan on stitching her face and arm and skin over one, because I stitched, the very first linen project I had was Ice Angel by MOI, and I stitched the face over one on that just to try it out, and over one skin looks amazing. Even if it's not charted over one, basically you just take one cross stitch and make it into 4 tiny ones if you're doing stitching two threads over 2 threads. That way you just turn each stitch into 4, basically, is what you do. And I usually use 1 strand of floss when I do the over one faces, and it just looks amazing. You can totally tell the difference in the skin. When I show you some of my finished works in progress, I will have to point a couple of them out to you. Anyway, oh, this little needle minder I have on here, my needle's kind of in the way there, sorry. That is a little button that I had, just one of those normal buttons. This is a zombie Hello Kitty. Those of you that don't know, I've loved Hello Kitty since the 1970s when she first came out. When I was growing up, Hello Kitty school supplies used to be pretty popular, but they were really expensive even back then. So, you know, you may only get like a pencil and one eraser every year. But a lot of the kids in my grade school used to collect her growing up and use some of the stationery and stuff that came out in the 70s. When I was growing up in California, we had Sanrio stores out there that catered to nothing but Hello Kitty. So you'd walk in and be wall-to-wall Hello Kitty, and, you know, all the different characters like Pachaco and Keroppi and Bats Maru, My Melody, Little Twin Stars, you know, all those Hello Kitty things. But this was a button. I was searching around in some, you know, containers and stuff in my craft room, and this button fell on the floor, and I picked it up and looked at it, and I was like, oh, I can pop that metal part out of the back of the button and glue a magnet to it, and I have a Hello Kitty needle minder. And she's a little zombie. I think she's so cute. This is my little zombie Hello Kitty needle minder. So that's one of the ones I made. And this grime guard, actually, I had some extra fabric. I wasn't sure how to make one, so I kind of used a purchased grime guard that I had, but I cut the fabric. I basically folded the strip of fabric in half. You can see this is the elastic that I put in it. It's a little too long for what I did, but I'm not a very good sewer, but I used my sewing machine, you know, and I sewed in the elastic on each side, you know, and just kind of made it a size. But this is a homemade grime guard that I made. I don't know that I'd make anybody else and any grime guards and sell them. I don't know if I'd even make any more grime guards, but I just kind of needed an extra one day, and so this is the first and only grime guard I've sewn. So, and this was just out of some fabric that I had laying around. So I'm not really a sewer, so I'm not sure that I would make any of these, but anyway. Oh, and I'm using, this is a Q-snap. I like scroll frames and I like Q-snaps. I think I like Q-snaps better because I don't like the scroll frames that you that have the fabric that you have to sew your pieces onto. I've never used one of those. I don't like those. The scroll frame that I have the Santa of the Forest on, it has a little groove cut into the dowel rod, and then a little tinier dowel rod. You kind of lay the fabric over the groove and push the tiny dowel rod in and roll it up, and that little tiny dowel rod kind of holds it into the groove. I can show it to you later on, maybe when I get closer to finishing the project. I can pop it off and show you. But I like scroll frames. I do two-handed work, so I like to use a floor frame or a lap stand and work two-handed. I work faster that way. So with this one though, I was stitching her in hand. It was kind of rough. I was going slower because I really prefer working one hand behind and one hand in front. My dominant right hand is usually behind, and I'm also trying to learn how to use a trolley needle, and I was practicing with this today, so I was going a little extra slow. But anyway, there's the Weekenders. All right. So we have that. Let me go ahead and jump right in. I'm just going to grab one of my plastic cross-stitch bags, move the cat out of the way. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. Sorry about the reach out of frame. This is just one of those plastic project bags you can probably get. I've got several projects in here. All right. So this, oh, I don't even know if it's in here. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So this is a little sampler kit that I got from my cross stitch store. This is my first and only 40 count gauze project. Okay. Well, here's a little picture of it. This is on 40 count gauze. Okay, it's just a little sampler on 40 count gauze. Now, here's the project bag with the flosses and everything. And I got started on this, and I just haven't had the time to pick it back up. Here's the little piece of gauze, everybody. This is 40 count. I don't even know if I can tell you. Okay, well, this is the front. All right. So, I'm going to use the picture. Don't mind the watermarks on the back of the picture. But, and don't mind the carryover of the thread. But that's what I've gotten started on so far. That's how much I've gotten. This is on 40 count gauze. And I'm stitching this one strand over one strand of 40 count gauze. This is the smallest project I have in my stash ever. Alright. So this is what I've got done on it so far. I'm not sure, the jury's still out on whether or not I like stitching on 40 count gauze. I don't know. But once again, this is the pattern, or this is the picture of what it's supposed to be. Okay. I don't even know if I had it upside down. I might have, yeah, I had it upside down. Yeah, I did have it upside down. So, that is what I've gotten done. I've got the S and the T and the Y and the Z. Some of the green, this is the green that I'm working on. You can't really see it. But anyway, that is the smallest absolute project that I have. 40 count gauze project. So there is that. Alright. Next in my bag of stuff. Oh, I have the 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly kit. And I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at. Do I even have it? It's a good question. Well, I have this one. You remember I have the Joy to the World one that I'm missing the pattern for? Well, I have this one too. 'Tis the Season. Lori Birmingham Designs. I have the project. I have the legend and the bead pack. I don't even know if I have the piece it's stitched on. It's open and the stuff is missing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find it. This is going in my I need to find this pile. Whoops. Alright. So my next one is a Fancy That set. And I had a goal at one point in time of cross-stitching a bunch of decorations for my Christmas tree. Because I had a goal of having a Christmas tree that was all cross-stitch decorations. Well, my husband and I started collecting Hello Kitty ornaments, and that kind of went out the wayside. I could probably decorate my tree with 75% or more Hello Kitty ornaments and have a really full tree. But that being said, this is the Fancy That Christmas Advent Calendar. Now what I was going to use this for, I wasn't going to use this for the Advent Calendar. I was going to use all these little motifs as Christmas ornaments. Because I didn't really want a wall hanging. I had no space for it at the time I started these. So I was going to do that. These call for not flower threads, but sampler threads. From, I think, oh, my list is in the other room. But this is copyright 2000. So, anyway, here are a few of the ones that I have finished. Well, not really finished. I still have to add beads and some other stuff to them. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use this as the background. This is on white perforated paper, or the clear, maybe like the frosted perforated paper. But these are some of the ones I got done using sampler threads. I really like the candle. I thought the candle turned out really cute. The reindeer turned out really cute, and the mitten turned out really cute. None of them are actually 100% done, except for maybe the candle. But like the reindeer, I have to do his nose. And I think I have to add some beads to them too. I'm not sure. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. There's 25 motifs on here. I'm not even sure I'm going to do all of them. But these are the ones I have completed so far. And you can see all my like hanging threads that I need to put away. I was using the waste knot method of starting my threads. So I have to clip the threads and hide them. But again, Fancy That Christmas Advent Calendar. I'll show you this again. The Christmas Advent Calendar by Fancy That. So we have those. Okay. Next, oh, you guys will get a kick out of this one. So, this was a set that came out. When did it come out? Is it told anywhere? I don't know when this came out. The Curtis Behringer, I think that's how you say his name. Needlewoman Murder Mystery. Murder in 13 leaflets. I don't know how many of you have collected these. I have all 13 of them here. 5, 4, 1. So, and I have them in number order. 13 is the outside one. All the way down to, where is number 1? Number 1 is in here somewhere. You know you are. Alright, so I didn't get very far. And there was some errors, you know. errors were published for this. Need a Woman Murder Mystery Errors and Variations. Yeah, there were some issues with this when it first came out, but I have all 13 of them. Yay, I have all 13! And my work in progress is neatly tucked away inside. I can't tell you what color of linen this is on, but I didn't get very far because I kind of lost interest in it with all the issues. The piece of fabric is actually kind of long though, and this is what I've gotten done so far. I believe this is most of one. I may even be part of the way onto two already, but you can see I'm stitching on the motifs on the side here. I haven't gotten very far. I don't know how far I'm gonna get on this. You can see I've done some of the back stitching and the motifs in the corner. I'm probably gonna finish back stitching as I go, but I'm doing this 2/1 or 2/2 using the DMC floss it's called for. There's a lot of, is it 611 that this one calls for, that you need to buy like half a store's worth. Let me see. Yeah. What is it? 611, I believe, is the color. You get sick of 611, let me tell you. And this fabric that I've got is kind of an olive, like a light olive green kind of color. But that's what I've gotten on the Curtis Behringer Murder Mystery. Need a Woman Murder Mystery. Murder in 13 Leaflets. I think I've gotten part 1 done, and I think the castle was actually part 2. I think the trees and the upper motifs were part 1, and I think the castle and the little pathways are part 2. It's been so long since I've looked at this, really, I can't tell you exactly. I have a long ways to go, though, because it's supposed to fit on this whole fabric. And I don't even know if I will get going on this. Again, I don't know. I may. There's really nowhere in my home that this would go, but I think just to get it done, you know, that might be a piece that I like lock myself somewhere in a room until I get like half of it done one day. But that is the Curtis Behringer Need a Woman Murder Mystery. Murder in 13 Leaflets. There you go. Alright, we're at 27 minutes. Oh, and I also have the errata for it. The errata is here. I don't even know if you can get this anymore online. Alright, well, this next one, I have a bit of a story. So, when my husband and I first met, on Saturday nights, we were going over to some married friend's house of his. That he has known, this person, he has known since he was in high school. This person was a good high school friend of his older brother. And this person used to come over, and they used to play D&D and stuff together with my husband when he was growing up, while they were in high school. And so when my husband Dylan came to Columbus, of course, they lived not that far from us, and we could walk there, because we didn't have a car, so we could easily walk there, and we'd go there. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. We would go there, excuse me, I'm going to take a drink. My drink of preference is Coke. So we would go there for games on Saturday night, and Mike, Dylan's friend, his wife Valerie was a stitcher, and when I first met them, she was stitching a Teresa Wentzler project. She was stitching the castle sampler, and she was working on the border and everything. So I picked up, one of the things I picked up was the Teresa Wentzler Fantasy Triptych. Now I have kind of a story. It's the Fantasy Triptych. Okay? I have kind of a story about this. Now, the first time, well, first of all, let me just show you something. All right. This was the pattern. At the time I wasn't making working patterns. out of my thing. So my pattern has all kinds of colors and it's drawn in. I really need to get a copy of this, but I think the only way I can get it is to get the Teresa Wentzler Fantasy Collection Volume 2. I have Volume 1, I have the Christmas one, and I have another one of her books. But in order for me to get Fantasy Triptych, I need to buy the second book because all of them are out of print as far as I know. And I really need a clean copy for this. Anyway, just so you know, you see all these green things that I have highlighted? That's just one page. I will open it up. Here is the floss list. In case you were wondering what a Teresa Wentzler looks like. This is the floss list. And all those greens are blended threads. Blended threads. Yes, I said blended threads. So she has a lot of colors and a lot of blended threads. And if you haven't stitched a Teresa Wentzler, she has a crap ton of confetti stitches in her pieces. And she also uses a lot of 1/4 and 3/4 stitches. So she uses smaller stitches. She uses a lot of confetti, but her pieces look fabulous. So anyway, a little bit of story. This might go over a little bit, but so when I first got this pattern, I went to my local needlework shop, got the cream linen because I was doing it on cream, you know, to kind of soften it a little bit, and I got the fabric cut, and I took it home and I started stitching, and I thought I was going really well. Well, you know, I had gone to a local science fiction convention, MarCon, because my husband and some of his friends were really involved in it. I wasn't too involved in MarCon, but you know, it gave me a chance to sit in the atrium at the convention center and stitch. Well, this happened to be the one project that I took with me to stitch because I was trying to get the border around all 3 sections done. I hadn't really started. And then I was going to start on the lady. I think this is the lady. Is that the lady? Yeah, I was going to start on the lady here, but I wanted to get all the border done. So I spent pretty much my entire weekend sitting in the atrium at the convention center downtown, stitching the border. And I came to find out I had less than an inch left of fabric around the entire thing. And I was heartbroken because I had the entire border done. The entire border. So I was disheartened. I went back to my local cross stitch shop. They made a deal. I showed them the dilemma I was in, and they made a deal with me. They gave me a pretty good price on a new thing of fabric, and I came home with a new fabric and put it away for a little while because I didn't want to work on this thing anymore. I'd spent a lot of time on the border, but anyway, I took this new piece of fabric. And at some point in time, I marked the middle of it, and I got started again. So here's my newest version of this. I thought I wanted to grid the fabric, but this is what I got so far. Let me fold this up a little bit easier so you can see it. This is what I've got started so far on it. Don't mind the threads. You can see all the confetti stitches in there. That is a lot of confetti. And here's part of the border. You can see I left enough down here. I hope I have enough left when I get up there. But the part that I was working on, this part here, is down here in this corner of the castle. This is where I'm working, right here. I have a long way to go in this. I really want to finish it. I really don't know that I have the heart to. I haven't picked this up and stitched on it in probably 10 years. It's been a while. But yeah, I think I threw out the other piece that only had less than an inch border all the way around just because I was so upset. I think I threw it out. But yeah, this is one of my works in progress. Teresa Wentzler Fantasy Triptych. I like working on her patterns. They're not hard to follow. It's just she has a lot of confetti stitching. And I'm going to fold this up a little different so we can start getting the creases out of it. She has a lot of confetti stitching. And oh, so I keep my floss for my projects in floss bags, the floss away bags. And I used to, until recently, I used to keep all the floss for one project on its own ring. Just to show you, you see all of these baggies right here? All of these baggies are the blended threads for the Fantasy Triptych. Now what I did is I took a length of each of the two colors and put them in these baggies. So like, I can show you. Like this baggie right here is for this symbol, and it includes these two DMC colors. Okay. So this was the blended threads only ring for Fantasy Triptych. Yeah, that's a lot. So anyway, there's that. All right, again, I'm gonna go ahead and pause and take a little bit to kind of put this up for a minute so it doesn't go flopping everywhere, and I will be right back. Hi, I'm back. The next project I have is another project that I started on quite a while ago. I really like Thomas Kincaid, the artist, but I can't really afford many of his pictures. So, you know, anytime I see like Thomas Kincaid fairly inexpensively, like, you know, for a jigsaw puzzle or something, I'll pick it up and do it. Well, Just Cross Stitch, the magazine, in their December 1998 publication, they had published Thomas Kincaid's Stone Hearth Hutch. And that one is actually probably one of my most favorite paintings of his. Here's the magazine cover, just so you can see. Stone Hearth Hutch. And when I saw this in the store, in my local needlework shop, I reached out and bought the magazine, and I bought the fabric and everything for this. The pattern is really nice. It is full coverage. It is a full coverage pattern. It was probably one of the first full coverage patterns that I decided to start. So I just picked like kind of a basic white linen for it. Not 100% sure I like the linen I picked for it, but nonetheless I have the linen for it, and I'm gonna do it. There's a couple of blended threads, not too much, you know, lots of 1/4 and 3/4 stitches. I didn't get too far on it, but I did, and I made a working copy that is actually not that beat up, all things considered. But anyway, so I got the linen for it. And this one also has blending filament in it, so it's a little sparkly. I've started some of the blending filament. I may actually have to just pull this out and work on this winter, because I forgot kind of how cute the sparklies were. I don't know if I'll be able to get the sparklies put up on it, but this is kind of near the bottom. I'm going to show you the picture. Where I'm working on in the picture here is along this path, this walking path. I'm kind of down here in the bottom area along this walking path in front of the house. So here it is. I don't know if you could see, I don't know if I could, yeah, the sparklies are coming through. You can see some of the sparklies here, but the yellow is the walking path. You might have heard the doorway. That's my husband Dylan coming back upstairs for a little bit.
Hi, cross-stitchers.
My husband says hi. So there's some sparkly. Might be better over here. But you can see some of the sparkly blending filament. But yeah, that's the progress I have on Stone Hearth Hutch. I think I'm actually going to have to pull this one out and work on this some. Probably when I get back from California. Because this would be a nice winter one to work on for a little while. I haven't seen this one in a bit, so it's been a chunk of time. I don't think I've worked on this one since my husband and I have owned our home. We bought our home in 2007, so it's been 10 years. A lot of my works in progress are pretty old. I've been more recently into like heaven and earth designs as opposed to a lot of other things. But anyway, so there is that. All right. So that is Stone Hearth Hutch by Thomas Kincaid, published in the December 98, I believe it was the December 98 publication of Just Cross Stitch magazine. And I might do a walkthrough of that magazine a little bit later for you. Alright, so the next project out of my bag is, you know, I said I like Teresa Winsler. Well, this was a little kit that I had got. And I don't remember that the kit, I don't have the outside picture of it. But this is the, I can't show you the back of it. This is a small kit that a lot of you maybe have seen. And this is above the clouds. This is the little dragon. The dragon that's like kind of surrounding a little castle on a stone mountain. Yeah, I don't have the kit. I have the flosses that came with the kit. But I don't have the little kit pouch that came with it. And this was another start of mine. I swapped out the fabric. I think it had called for Ada. And I got some linen. Ivory linen. I'm not sure what parts of the castle I've stitched. I believe this is the right way though. This is what I've gotten done on her so far. Just a little bit of the castle in the middle. I'm not sure how much of this I'll continue to work on, when I'll work on it, or if I'll even work on it. But this is my start on Teresa Winsler's Above the Clouds. This was a kit. I don't know how many WIPs I'm up to so far that I've shown you. I don't know. I haven't been keeping count. Alright, so this next one coming out of my bag. This is one of the first BAPs that I bought. BAPs is Big Ass Project. This is one of the first BAPs I bought. This is by a company called White Willow Stitching. I don't know if anybody in Flosstube land has heard of them, but this is a pattern booklet called White Willow Stitching from a company called White Willow Stitching, and this is Celtic Rose. The art is by Abranda Sisson. Celtic Rose, Abranda Sisson. Again, this is full coverage, meaning you stitch from this corner all the way to this corner. And it's full stitching. This is the first big ass project that I bought. And this pattern comes in a booklet. It's spiral bound for you. This is how it comes. The actual pattern itself is 6 pages, split. It has the shading for the common rows. Yeah. Where is the floss? That's the first pattern. I think the floss thing is back here. The floss thing is back here just to show you. This is floss listing for Celtic Rose. And there's one on the back on the last page. But yeah, this is the floss listing for Celtic Rose. Here's what it looks like again. This is the first piece of fabric I also gridded. I used that red fish, easy. I don't even remember the name of the stuff I got. It's in my drawer over here somewhere. But it's that thin red fishing line that's made specifically for gridding cross stitch fabric. If I could get into my bag. What's going on here? Anyway, I'm doing this on white linen. And I haven't got too far. I mean, I've started in a couple different spots. So, I believe this is the way it goes. This is the upper right corner of the pattern. You can see my grid lines. And then this is actually where I started. I started in the middle because I'm used to starting in the middle. But this is where I've gotten in the middle a little bit. I'll turn it this way so you can see. Let me fold it this way. There we go. So this is some of the middle and down there. And I like the red fishing line stuff. Isn't bad to use. I don't know, I just kind of don't think I like it, but I like the pattern. I just have to finish it. This is one of my biggest projects that I have to work on. I really need to get a rotation going, but yeah, I'm not sure I'll do that anytime soon. But anyway, that is Celtic Rose by Abranda Sisson, and the chart was created by a company called White Willow Stitching. So that is my piece. It's the first big ass project that I have completed. I'm gonna pause, take a second, get some of these out of the way, and I'll be right back. Hi again, I'm back. Sorry for the gentle pause. For you it probably didn't seem like very long, but it was a couple minutes. Anyway, the next little project I have was a Mirabilia kit that came out one Christmas. I got quite a bit done on her, but I have to locate the actual kit and the floss and everything for her. I have it. I know I have it because I've seen it recently, like in the last couple of months, because I moved it somewhere. I just have to remember where I moved it to. But many of you will probably recognize it when I show you my progress on her. But we have her. I have the face done. The face is over one. She's very cute. I just need to finish her once I find the kit. It seems to be par for the course for me. But I have the other one, the other kit. But I have to find her. I have to find her kit. So, and I believe I did her on the fabric that it calls for. But I'll have to get the name of this for you and update you on this. Let's see if I can find the kit. But that's one of my works in progress. She's a lot more complete than quite a few of the ones I've shown you. Hopefully I can find the kit and make her another finish this year. So there's that. Alright. Put that down in there. Alright. Let's see what pattern this is. Okay, so I told you I really like Thomas Kincaid. Well, this happened to be a kit that I saw for a pattern for one of his pieces. This is called Holiday Gathering, and it was a Thomas Kincaid kit by Candamar Designs Incorporated. It was finished size 14 by 11. The kit contained 14 count Aida, which I swapped out for 28 count linen. I believe it was 28 count linen. And I am using the floss in this because the floss isn't too bad, but this is the pattern for it. I'm a super huge fan of Thomas Kincaid winter scenes. So this is just a house where people are gathering for a holiday party. I really like this a lot. It's the winter holiday gathering. There's some confetti in here. Not a whole lot. I don't think I made a working copy of the pattern. No, it doesn't look like I made a working copy of the pattern. And there's 4 pages of this pattern. Yeah, there's 4 pages of this pattern. So, as you will see in a little bit, there's some of the floss. It was not separated. Well, maybe it was separated. It looks like it was separated. The floss was separated. I haven't dug this out in a little while, so you know the floss is all kind of bundled up. It has blending filament-ish kind of shimmery stuff in it. Yeah. Floss isn't the best quality, but I'm going to use it anyway, just to get it out. It's by Candamar Designs. So the floss was separated already for you into this nice little thing. Comes with really shimmery things. So I am using the floss. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I have it again just in case I want to maybe redo it or restart it at another point. But I'm doing this on white linen. It might be just off white linen actually. But I've gotten started on the house. You can see here, you get this kind of folded up so you can see. Oops, that's not even. That's not at all even. Come here, you. Alright. Alright. Alright, so here's what I got so far. You can see the porch is taking shape. I haven't gotten any of this shiny threads in it, but the porch is taking shape. You can see there's some people on the porch. This is the upper story of the house. This is what I've got so far on it. So if I don't pick out Stone Hearth Hutch, I might actually pick this one out to stitch this winter. Or maybe I'll just put both of them in a rotation, work on one for a little while, work on the other, keep swiping them back and forth, along with the Santa of the Forest, because I really want to get that one done. But that's what I've gotten done so far on Holiday Gathering. Thomas Kincaid. Alright. Sorry about that. I don't really have a whole lot to say here while I mess around with these, but anyway, that's where I'm at with this whole thing. I'm gonna put this back in here to kind of help protect things. But that is Holiday Gathering. Just gonna put this off to the side. Bear with me just a minute. All right. So this next one is one of the many Mirabilias that I have stitched. I have started. All right. So this one is, dig it out. This one is the September Sapphire Fairy. She's the one in the kimono. My husband and I really like Asian motifs. I have a completed geisha that I finished out of a Dimensions kit that I actually submitted in the state fair. Won first place, best of show. It's hanging up in our spare bedroom, which is kind of our orientalish room. And I'll show you a picture of that geisha and the ribbons for another video. But this is the September Sapphire Fairy by Nora Corbett. And I'm not doing her on the recommended fabric. I have picked a purple linen to do, a lavender linen to do her on. I don't even know what linen I chose, but you might be able to pick it out. The color of the linen is not going to come out in this light, but it's a very kind of actually bright lavender, if that makes sense. Alright? So I'm not even really 100% sure. Hi again, Flosstube. I'm sorry about that, but my video cut out, and I didn't even realize that the video cut out. So here's kind of where I picked up. I was getting ready to show you September Sapphire Fairy from Nora Corbett, and here is my progress so far. This is the arm right here. This peach color is the arm that's holding the bird cage. And then here's some of her lime green kimono, and then the purplish bluish wrap of hers. This is Nora Corbett's September Sapphire Fairy. Alright. So there is that. Go ahead and put her back in the bag. The next one that I had started that I thought I was recording that didn't get recorded for you is Jasmine's Sugar Plum Violets Christmas Stocking. Sugar Plum Violets by Jasmine. This came with the beads to do it. I'm doing it on ivory, cream, off-white, linen. I believe it's what's called for in here. But anyway, here is my progress on Sugar Plum Violet's Christmas stocking. Sorry about that. This was going to be a present, or kind of a, well, my sister-in-law would have Christmas up here one year after my husband's mother died. We would have Christmas up here one year, then go down to her house for Christmas the next year. So I was going to make this for her, so she would have a stocking up here when she came up to our house. But I never finished it. Obviously, I never finished it for that. And we have since just been going down to Dylan's dad's house because it's easier. Especially since my sister-in-law has adopted a child from Guatemala. Our niece is from Guatemala, and it's just easier for us to just meet up at his dad's house for Christmas, because his dad, it's a little farther of a drive to West Virginia for us than it is for her to come up from Charleston, West Virginia, but we just meet at his dad's house anyway, so that's what we do now. So hopefully I'll get back to doing this soon and maybe still give it to her. I don't know. I don't know what that's all going to be. But anyway, that's all out of that bag. I am going to pause this and bring over my other bag and empty it out and keep going. Give me just a minute. Thanks. Alright, I'm back. It took a couple of minutes, but I got everything put back in that bag so I can put the bag away fairly easily. And now on to more of my WIP parade. Alright, this next one is another Mirabilia. Oh, I just found a bunch of beads I have to add to my stash. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, I have a bunch more beads that I actually need to put away and some Krennic blending filaments and stuff. Oh my goodness, look at all those beads that I have to add to my stash. Oh, Lord. Well, alright. I'm going to have to do that because, wow, there's a ton. Oh my god. Alright, there's a ton. Oh. And some blending filaments. Those are going to go away. Alright, so I am doing, well, this Mirabilia is one of the mermaids. Let me pull out the pattern first. Alright, well, you saw the beads and the blending filaments. This is the South Seas mermaid. The South Seas mermaid. I don't know if you can see her real well. She has a ton of beads. A ton of beads. Like all the coral surrounding her. A lot of that's bead. She's got beads wraps around her body, torso. Those are all beads. She's got a lot of beads. She's very pretty though. I do know the fabric that I got for her. This calls for 32 count Zweigart Belfast Amsterdam Blue. And I am stitching her on 32 count Belfast dark teal green. I'm not sure if this is a hand dyed or not, but it's a lot darker and it's kind of a dark watery underwater green. Got quite a bit stitched on her. It has been a while since I've stitched on her, but I have a bit done, and this fabric actually makes her pop, like vividly pop. So I will show you what I got. This is the South Seas Mermaid by Mirabilia. Do it over on this side. This, you can't really see. I wish I had the right light for you to see this, but this fabric really makes it pop. This is what I have done on her. She's been stitching. The stitching didn't take me very long, what I've got done. But, oh boy, does she really pop on this fabric. Really love this fabric. Again, I'm doing her on 32 count Belfast. Dark teal green is the color. I'm not sure what company the dark teal green came from, but nevertheless, she's popping. And I might actually have to put her into my rotation to get her done. I think she'd stitch up really quick, but yeah, I'm also gonna do her skin over one when I get there, because since I did my first linen project with over one skin, I do every project that has human skin as over one. And I just dropped some linen foam, and I have all these beads, all these beads to put in my bead container system now. Oh my word, there's a lot of them. Oh well, guess it's another project for later tonight or tomorrow. Alright, on to the next one. So remember I told you that my husband and I have a thing for Asian things. So this pattern came out of the Cross Stitch Collection magazine. I believe this is a UK publication, printed in England. That's what this says. This is from the January 2002 Cross Stitch Collection magazine. I'll go ahead and show you the cover. This is the cover of the magazine it comes out of. And if you see here, down here in the corner, it says, "Free Giant Chart, Oriental Lady." So you open it up. And this is the page for the Oriental Lady. She is absolutely beautiful. So I had to get it. I picked this up at Barnes & Noble at some point, somewhere in 2002. So I've had this for a while. This calls for, if you look at the pattern, the model, it's stitched on kind of a linen, natural linen, because it has the tans and the browns in it. But it says here 14 HPI Rustico Aida. I don't like stitching an Aida, so I did a floss toss with this. This didn't come with the floss, I had to buy it. FYI. Here's part of the chart for it. Part of the chart. It's a big chart. It's one big page. I made a working copy. But I didn't do it on that. Do I have what I did? What I picked for it? I don't think I have what I picked for it. Let me open it up and look. I don't even know if I wrote it on here. I didn't write it on my working copy. Did I write when I started it? No. No. No, of course not. I didn't write when I started it. But I'm doing it on kind of like a very light minty green fabric. I did a floss toss with the colors and determined that this fabric actually really kind of makes it pop. So, oh, you know what? Oh, that's a nice surprise. This is one I haven't started yet. Yay! So I haven't, but anyway, here's the fabric that I got for it. It's kind of a mint green. But you can see I haven't started it yet. Yay! I haven't started it yet. Oh, so I thought I had started this one. So this is actually going in my to-do pile because I haven't started this one yet. Yay! Well, that's good to know. I'm kind of trying to fold this a little differently to kind of help work some of the creases out that are forming on this fabric. But it's a mint green fabric. It's a linen. I'm not sure what kind of linen. I'm pretty sure it's 32 count. I can't tell you much else. I don't really have the thing for it, but nonetheless, here's one of my Oriental ladies that I'm going to stitch sometime soon. I'm going to get a chance. She's going to be very pretty. I'm looking forward to starting her. So this is one that's actually coming out of my work in progress and going into my want to stitch. So you've seen a not started something in my stash, the Oriental Lady. And so that is actually going to be put over here. So I can put that in the other bin. Alright, on that same Oriental note. Oh, well this one is 15 years old. Because I actually did put the start date on this. And you might not be able to see it. I'll bend it over. But look, started 3/2 of 2002. Alright. This was from a kit. And I can tell you that. It's got, if you look, I'll give you a little bit of this. The pattern is in colors. Pattern is in colors. So, yeah. This is from a kit. It's from a Dimensions Gold Collection. Here you go. Gold Collection. Dimensions Gold Collection Kit. 3898 Jewels of the Orient. Here it is. Right? The interesting thing is, this one was a kit that came with sorted bundles that you actually had to finish sorting in order to get ready to stitch. What I did was, instead of sorting the bundles and putting them on a floss card, I took the colors, these are all the colors, and I put them in their own little floss baggie. I used little stickers up here in the corners. The stickers are fading. I'm probably going to have to go back and, well, I can read them, sorta. I'm going to have to go back and remark some of them. But like you can see here, I can still read them, but the stickers are fading, so I'm going to have to go back and redo them. But anyway, all the colors are in their own little floss bag, which is going to help me out tremendously, I think. Keep the colors nicer. Oh, there's a lot of pretty colors in this one. I don't have the outside picture anymore to show you, but there's two ladies. I'll give you a description looking at the pattern. I can't show you the pattern. I might be able to show you from way far away. But, so you can kind of see, it's a lady standing with a lady kneeling underneath probably a cherry blossom tree. But anyway, there you go. And I just dropped the fabric on the floor. Ah! So now it's probably got some cat hair on it. But to keep in with our Asian theme, it's another Asian one, Dimensions kit. Can't exactly tell you which way is up, but I think the selvage is up, so I'll turn it this way. And these are actually pretty bright colors on this. I don't even remember what color linen I got, but I'm going to put it over. I have to remember to put it over on this side to show you. But these are some of the colors. I believe this is in the lady standing, the lady in the kimono that's standing up. I believe this is what's in hers. That's what I've got done so far. Gold Dimensions Kit, Flowers of the Orient. Alright. Fold this up a little different. I don't know how I had this, but good enough for me. Flowers of the Orient Dimensions Kit with the, I baggied the floss instead of putting them on a floss card, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing from now on if I ever do another kit. So that is Flowers of the Orient. I don't think I have too much more in this little bag. Alright, so this is a piece that I had contacted my sister-in-law about, because when I saw it stitched up in my local needlework shop, Cross My Heart, I immediately thought of my niece, Dora Marie. My niece, the one adopted from Guatemala, was at one point in time, I think she probably still is, kind of really into pirates and stuff like that. Pirates and tie-dye were their thing. And my niece and her dad and her mom took pictures in pirate outfits. It was really cute one year when she was still pretty small. And so I saw this piece sitting up on the wall in my local needle workshop, and I called my sister. I took a picture of it and sent it to my sister-in-law and asked her if this would scare her, because at the time that I was going to do this for her, she was like 7 or 8, and I didn't want to give her nightmares if she was going to hang it up in her room, because I was also going to stitch it using glow-in-the-dark thread. And when you see it, you will probably know why I was going to stitch it with glow-in-the-dark thread. I kind of like glow-in-the-dark things, and you know, that's my thing. So anyway, this is from the Cricut collection. This is number 260, Skeleton Crew, designed by Vicki Hastings. And this is the little pirate ship. And you can see the skeletons. The saying says 16 men on a dead man's ship. But you see the skeletons here. I was going to do the skeletons in glow-in-the-dark thread, and the sails in glow-in-the-dark thread. And I was going to swap out some of the colors. I've made some color changes on this to stitch it. I made a working copy of the pattern that I've made some notes on. Like the moon I'm gonna do in 053F blending filament. The witch's face in 051 blending filament. The skeletons, the ship windows in 054 blending filament. The fish in 053 blending filament. The ship letters in thread gatherer ghoulies. Water waves and water lilies Bermuda reef. And then I was going to use the glow in the dark, the bleached bone white DMC color that was B5200. I was swapping out for E940, which is a glow in the dark thread. I was using the substitution for DMC 502. Davy Jones green was going to be the water lilies. The charcoal was going to be silken colors thread. So I've made some changes in this. Anyway, this is going to be for my niece. Hopefully that she would hang up in her room. I have a couple of working copies of it in my kit. And I don't remember what color fabric I got for it because I didn't keep it. But this is on a dark green. Actually, this is pretty well where I got. So I don't even know if I'm going to be, I don't think I'm going to be able to show you the glow in the dark fabric. I have pictures somewhere, or the glow in the dark threads. But this is what I've got stitched so far. Keep in mind that the skeletons are done in glow in the dark thread. This is part of the boat. This is part of the ship mast and sail, which is also done in glow in the dark thread. So this is glow in the dark thread that I'm using for them. This is what I've gotten done on Skeleton Crew, designed by Vicki Hastings for the Cricut collection. Number 260. You might even still be able to get this across the store, but this fabric is kind of like, remember that mermaid that I had that was on that dark teal green? I think this is that same fabric, actually. Very similar. Dark teal green, I'm going to say. This is 32 count. Yeah, 32 count linen. I'm not sure who the linen came from, but this is what I got done so far. So hopefully I'll be able to get working on this. I thought about making this my October project, and I still might do that. Don't know yet. Probably should get a little rotation going. And for some reason I have little $5 Mill Hill kit. This is really cute. Autumn Harvest 4 little kitten in a lantern. I haven't started this one, so actually I'm pulling this out and I'm putting this back in my other stash. There's a Mill Hill kit that I have that I forgot. It might actually go on the plane with me. That would be fun to work on the plane in 2 weeks. Alright. That's going to go over here. Well, I put this one away. So, I don't really have any good stories to tell you. Nothing new happened this week, really. We're working a lot of overtime because we're already 2 weeks behind for September. And I have 2 weeks to get everything done before I go to California. October 6th. Which means I have overtime. I'm working tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. I have a baby shower to go to. And then I'm working for a few hours tomorrow to get some work done. I'll be working late the next 2 weeks. 9 days. Monday, though, I did get to work at my husband's work. I'm salaried with a laptop so I can work remotely if the need arises. And yeah, my husband has some doctor's appointments to take care of, so I am just going to take my laptop to his work and sit at my little station that I've set up there for just this purpose. And then when his doctor's appointment comes at 11, we can leave his work, go right up to his appointment, and I could go right back to his work and sit and work some more until we're done for the day. So yeah, I'm probably going to work some late on Monday night if we don't have to do laundry. I'm going to work late Tuesday night. Going to work late Wednesday. Well, I can't work late Wednesday night. Wednesday night's our stitch night, and I'm not going to miss it for the world. Thursday night is bell choir, but I'll probably log in after that. And I'm going to work next weekend, and then the following week after that. And then, yeah, I'm just going to be tired. Anyway, on with my whips. Okay. So this was a kit. This was a Janlin kit. And I really liked it because I like cats. We have 6 cats. They're all kind of obnoxious. We have 6 cats. This was a Janlin kit called Angel Cat Ornaments. It's an old kit. It includes gold foil backing, which I still actually have. This is by Donna Vermillion Giampa. And Donna Vermillion Giampa was with the Vermillion Stitchery. And she passed away fairly recently. When I say fairly recently, I mean in the last, I think she was 2015 when she passed away. So this is probably definitely out of print. I don't know how long out of print it was. This was copyright 1996. And it was published by Janlin. It was a kit. Christmas, cross stitch, angel, cats, ornaments. And you can see they're all playing instruments. It's all very flowy. It's kind of Mirabilia like, you know, in their dresses and stuff. Donna Vermillion Giampa. Here's the gold foil backing to use for them. Gold foil backing. It's really shiny. Wee, wee, wee. Gold foil backing. This came with plastic canvas that you're supposed to stitch on. I probably should take the plastic canvas out and wash it because it feels like it's gotten a little dirty. But I only got one started. And I'm not even really sure which way this goes just yet. But there's one of them. There's one of the kittens that I had started. I really like this. It actually was working up pretty quick. I just haven't had a chance to stitch on it. I don't know how many more I'm going to do. I don't know. This might stay a work in progress for a while. But it came with the floss, and I am using the floss in the kit. The floss was separated by number, had the numbers on it. So, yeah. Floss. I was using the floss in it. Using the perforated, or not perforated paper, plastic canvas that comes with it. No, it's not really called plastic canvas though when it's for cross stitch. Is the pattern in here? What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. I'll pull this out, put this on top. So I remember what it is. But yeah, cats! Musical cats. Alright, so this next one was a bag that I had. Because this was also stuff I was working on for cross-stitch ornaments. And I was doing it on perforated paper. And I kept the perforated paper in the book. You can see the edge of my perforated paper is all messed up and loose and torn and just kind of wonkied. Yeah. So like I said, I don't know how much more of these I'm going to stitch, but I have quite a few of these on my Christmas tree. And the one that's in this book right now that I'm working on is candy canes. But anyway, to show you, this is the Quick and Easy Gingerbread Christmas, designed by Gloria and Pat. I don't know how old this publication is. I don't know. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a little drink. My throat is a little, my mouth is a little dry. Alright, but this is Quick and Easy Gingerbread Christmas by Gloria and Pat. And I will turn it over and show you. There's lots of motifs in here. These were the motifs I was working on. Like, I have one of her, one of him, of the rocking horse. These are the candy canes I was working on. I don't think I did the sheep. I want to do the sheep. I don't think I have too many other ones on here. Noah's Ark is kind of cute. Oh, you're sliding off. Don't do that. Excuse me. I really kind of wanted it for the gingerbread people, though. You see Mr. and Mrs. Claus and a snowman? Or something, anyway. So this is what I was doing it for. Was the motifs for my Christmas tree. I have a couple of them done. A couple of them have been on my Christmas tree a few years. Mainly the gingerbread man and gingerbread woman. And the rocking horse, I believe, is another one that I put on my tree. But yeah, I'm doing the candy canes. Let's show you those again. Here's the candy canes. They're turning out really cute. Might have to finish at least the candy canes. I don't know how many more of these I'll get done, but this is a work in progress on perforated paper. Perforated paper is alright to work on, but yeah, not too many colors. There's only about 4 or 5 colors pretty much this whole book, so there's not much in the way of colors. But anyway, there is that. Alright. So, that brings me to the end of my other bag. This was 30 minutes. The other video was just right an hour. So, currently, my work in progress recordings, about an hour and a half. So, I don't know how long it'll take me to get through the tub. But I'm going to get through the tub, and then we'll pretty much be done with all my big works in progress that aren't the little teeny Mill Hill kits. So, I'm going to go ahead and stop this one, and then I will refresh my recording and continue on with my other WIPs. Now these other WIPs are going to be bigger projects too. Like, this is going to include my Heaven and Earth design WIPs. So, yeah, all my other ones were pretty much the bigger ones that I have. I think all the rest of this one is pretty much going to be like the Mirabilias and the Heaven and Earth design patterns that I have going. So, yeah, I will see you here shortly with some more WIP Parade. Yay! Alright, hi again, Flosstube, it's me. I'm continuing on with the third installment of my work in progress. This is my last box of stuff that I know are bigger projects that I'm working on. So yeah, I'll just get started. Alright, this first one up is an old shepherd's bush kit. It's the Road to Bethlehem sampler. And I will take it out and try and show you the picture, but the picture is really small and isn't, I don't know if this will even show up for you. So this is the Road to Bethlehem sampler. The top says Joy to the World. I will try and read you what it says. No, I can't. It says, oh, little town of Bethlehem. That's what it says kind of in the middle. And yea, the Lord greet thee. That's the best as I can read. I actually had finished this kit quite a while ago. This came as a kit. It was $28 when I bought it. All the floss, I think this is silk floss. All the silk floss came on this cute little card from Shepherd's Bush. And I actually have quite a bit of it done. There's still some stuff I need to finish, including tucking in the strands and adding the beads and the camel charms and some of the other charms that came with it. But anyway, this is the Road to Bethlehem sampler. And you see, I have most of the stitching on this done. This here, this little band here, is a silk ribbon that you kind of cut the threads and weave through it. I might have to do a little work with that because I think the threads in the linen are kind of messed up. It looks like some of it is torn or frayed or something's happened along the way. I think there's a hole in the fabric. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out something. I might not be able to salvage it, but yeah. So this is done in like purples, plums and pinks, and some green. It's really pretty. So the top says "Joy to the World." The middle says "O Little Town of Bethlehem," and the bottom says "Yea, Lord, we greet thee." It's really cute sampler. I'll get it over here so maybe you can see some more of it. Really cute sampler. I've got most of the stitching done, I believe. I'm not sure. You can see I have waist knots that I have to tie in. There's a couple specialty stitches in the middle. This is a shepherd's bush thing. This was a joy to stitch. I really like these. I kind of wish I would have bought more. I don't even know if you can get these anymore. I have no idea. But anyway, the Road to Bethlehem sampler. I really like this. Let me see if I can get this folded up a different way to start working the crease out of it. Alright, so we have that. The Road to Bethlehem sampler. Alright. Really liked working on this. This was cute. Really like it a lot. But yeah, that was the Road to Bethlehem sampler by Shepherd's Bush. Alright, this next one was a kit that my local needlework shop, Cross My Heart, put together. The pattern, I believe, was a free pattern, maybe? I'm not sure where they got it. Oh, they got it from the Gentle Art. The name of the pattern is called Garden Hares. Not going to show you much of the pattern, if at all, because I'm not sure where it came from. But anyway, Garden Hares. My cross-stitch shop put it together. It's published by the Gentle Art. It tells you the sampler threads that it used. The kit came with the sampler threads, so I didn't need to buy the sampler threads. I have them here with it. I actually have to add these to my ring that has all my specialty stuff in it, but it's a quick little stitch. Started off quick. I put it down kind of when I swapped to something else and never went back to it, partly because I forgot about it. But the sampler threads it has like this one, this red one. It has green. This is sampler threads by the Gentle Art. It's the company that published the pattern. This is cherry bark. This one is dried thyme. This one is mulberry. This one is blueberry. Sorry, my stuff's upside down. This one is sampler threads wood smoke. This one is sampler threads slate. And this one is sampler threads avocado. So those are the colors that are in it. It's a cute project. Let me dig it out, show you. Alright, so this is what I have done on it. The red, which was mulberry. The red is the frame on the outside. I have some of the grass done and part of the rabbit. The rabbit was done in slate. The grass was done in the green that I told you about. This is the linen that came with it. I'm not sure what kind of linen is in it. It tells me it's cashel. 32 count cashel in cream. No, 28 count cashel in cream. It's 7 sampler threads kit. It's put together by my local needle workshop. Patterned by the Gentle Arts sampler threads. There you go. I might finish this up one day. I just, it's just not something high on my radar right now. But it's with sampler threads. It's really cute. I'm doing each stitch individually, so you see the variegation in the thread more accurately. But anyway, sampler threads, garden hares. Gentle Arts kit using Gentle Arts sampler threads. Get in there, you. Alright. There's that. Here's that. Didn't get that in there 100% straight. Put these back in here. Sorry about that. So there's that. I guess if I ever need a little small project to finish. Alright, so this one, I don't have the actual pattern out here with me. Maybe I do. Yes, I do. Give me just a minute to get the pattern out, and I will be right back. Alright, it's me again. I'm back. This next one is Earth Dancer, Butternut Road pattern by Mirabilia. Earth Dancer. Oh, I guess I could take the picture out of the plastic for you. Earth Dancer by Mirabilia. I have had this thing stitched and beaded for quite some time. You know, I've entered a few pieces in the state fair. This was gonna be my next one entered in the state fair. I never got to finish it before the next state fair that I could enter it in, mainly because you see the fringe in the dress, that is ultra suede. I was so afraid of doing ultra suede on this thing. Oh, and the outside of the dream catcher behind her is also ultra suede. Well, I was so worried about doing the ultra suede fringe that I didn't go much farther with this. I still have the bead catcher to do. Come to find out, I actually have some of the whisper in the feather right here, the feather area, to do. And probably some whisper, I think, up here in the feathers on our head, too. I have the whisper to do. The whisper doesn't scare me. I've used whisper before. It's great. The thing that was really scaring me, though, was all that ultra suede fringe. Yeah, so at the first Wednesday stitching, about 4 weeks ago now, what was the second Wednesday stitching, the first full one that we had, one of the ladies had just completed her a couple weeks before, and the needlework shop owners told me to talk to her about it and how she went about doing it, because the shop owners hadn't stitched it in either a long time or hadn't just borrowed the model from MLI for this, and they didn't know some of the techniques. So I talked to her, and she told me it's actually pretty easy. Don't let it scare me. Just get it done. Well, I haven't gotten it done yet. I have the suede. I have the suede for the fringe. I have the blue suede for the outside of the dream catcher, and I have also the variegated threads for the inside of the dream catcher. So I have all that, but haven't stitched it yet. I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet, probably once we get back from California. I'm gonna bite the bullet some night and just take her out. Oh, excuse me. Put her on scroll frames or Q snaps and just get it done, because she's really close to being a complete finished object, not framed but complete, and just get her done. Anyway, here's what I've got done on her so far. I think I did her on natural linen. I can't remember. I did her on linen, not the linen called for, but anyway. Also, I didn't use the beads that were called for on her. I actually went down to a bead shop, a physical bead shop here in town, to get delica beads, like physical delica beads, because I couldn't get the beads called for on her to lay straight. These beads actually, the beads I used on her actually aren't really laying straight either, but they're laying straighter than I could get the Mill Hill beads to lay on her. But I got crayon color beads for her, but she looks pretty good, except she's missing her dream catcher, and she's missing a little bit of the whisper threads and the fringe in her dress, but you'll see. So this is Earth Dancer. Sorry about her blowing in the wind. We have our It's been kind of in the upper 80s and humid here, and our ceiling fan is on and our air conditioning is on. Our window air conditioner is on, so she's blowing a little bit in the wind. Let me see if I can get closer and show you some of the beads in the neckline of her dress. These are the Delica beads that I use. You can see how shiny they look. Those are Delica beads. Yeah. So, and it's actually pretty tightly stitched in there. So anyway, that's the progress I've made on Earth Dancer. Hopefully when I get the fringe and when I get the dream catcher on, I might show you more. If you'd be interested, maybe I could show you when I start to work on it. Maybe I can videotape when I start working on it for you. That my TV just did something weird. That's kind of creepy. Anyway, that way you can see my struggle with it, and maybe, you know, somebody out there in Flosstube land can help me out with it. Or maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe somebody will post a suggestion on things that they've done. But anyway, that's my Earth Dancer. That's where I'm at. Yep, just have to do the dream catcher, a little bit of the whisper, and the suede. Have to decide if I'm going to wash it before I do that, though, because I don't know that you can wash the suede. But anyway, so that's Earth Dancer. Alright. Give me just a minute. I got to put my shepherd's bush floss back in the shepherd's bush bag. Alright, there we go. Alright, so this next project is one of the ones I might have already shown you. And it's, I think it was probably on my first video. This is one of the things that I have found out since I started the project. I have since lost the pattern. And my cross stitch shop has it on order. I think it's Dutch Treat Designs. It's one of their table toppers. And it was done on Ann cloth. I've come to find out it's the pumpkin one with the 4 pumpkins in one of the panels. But this is kind of an autumn one. This is what I've got done on it so far. This is with DMC. What is it done with? This is, oh, I take it back. This is done with, well, this has Watercolors by Karen. A little Watercolors by Karen. DMC Pearl Cottons. Yep, a 402 Pearl Cottons. Yep, that's what it calls for. I have the colors. I have this part. I don't have the pattern, so I'm waiting on the pattern. Once I get the pattern, hopefully I can make this a quick finish. I actually like working on the Ann cloth. The Ann cloth is really nice to work on. It's very easy to see. I'm doing this one strand of pearl cotton over 2 threads. But yeah, I'm just waiting on the pattern. Hopefully my cross stitch stop will get it in. This is the one where I also ordered the flamingo pattern to go with it. So we'll see. Yep. So there's that. I'm going to put the floss in here. I have that. Alright, this next little one is from MLI. It's one of the free angels that she gave out. I don't have the pattern with me because it was a free one. I think it's the 2002 angel. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I will post, I will put something down in the video, on the video, about what pattern it actually is. But I haven't worked on this in a while either. And this is really cute, though. I don't even remember what kind of linen I got. It's kind of a dark gray linen. But anyway, this is one of the MLI free angels. If you see this, you might actually be able to tell me which one it is. I just don't know off the top of my head. I believe this is the 2002 MLI free angel. I don't know when I started this either. I have several copies of this pattern running around. I have all of her free patterns that I printed off recently. Actually, this last week I went back and reprinted a lot of her free angel patterns before they become non-existent. But this is one of the free angel patterns. Alright, so now we're going to kind of get into my Heaven and Earth designs, patterns that I have started. I have one finish, Heaven and Earth design finish, that I will show at a later time. I'm really happy with it. It's by an artist named Jasmine Becket Griffith. If you've never seen her, she does faces with really big eyes, kind of like anime eyes, and I really like her artwork. Last summer, I spent 4 weeks out in California on a working trip. I took my work laptop and worked remotely while I was out in California for my job here in Ohio. For pretty much the whole entire 4 weeks I was out there to help my mom out. My stepdad was in the hospital dealing with some bleeding issues. He's 82 and diabetic, and yeah, so my mom just needed some help. So I spent 4 weeks out there last year. Got back kind of mid-July. So while I was out there, Jasmine Becket Griffith had an art exhibit at downtown Disney at Disneyland, and my mom and I took one afternoon and we went to downtown Disney because she'd never been there, and I actually haven't been into Disneyland since California Adventure opened. When I was growing up, we used to go a couple times a year, back when it was cheaper. Back when I was growing up in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, Disneyland only used to be $40-50 to get into. Now, Disneyland itself is $100 a person. California Adventure is another $100 a person. It's really expensive to go to Disneyland in California now. Anyway, so, but if you go to downtown Disney, you get a 2-hour parking pass. But if you get your parking pass validated, you can stay at downtown Disney for free up to about 5 hours. So my mom went and spent a good 4.5, almost 5 hours down at downtown Disney one day because I found out Jasmine Becket Griffith was having an art show at Wonderground Gallery, I believe is what it's called, with a W-U, Wonderground Gallery, like underground gallery, but it's Wonderground. Anyway, so she was having a showing, and my mom and I went. I can show you some pictures. I will probably attach pictures to the video if you're interested, if this isn't going too long. But anyway, we got to meet her, and she was really nice. And I got to show her a picture of my Faces of Fairy pattern that she had done, that Heaven and Earth Designs has copyrights for, and the permission by her to produce her artwork in cross-stitch pattern form. So she was very excited to see kind of a work in progress, and it was very nice to meet her. You know, I love her artwork. I have quite a few pieces. I can actually show you guys one of the canvases I bought too. Once I show you these patterns and these works in progress of hers that I have. Yeah, it was a great time, and I'm really glad I got the chance to meet her. So she's one of my favorite artists right now, and I have quite a few of her patterns in my library to stitch, and also currently working on some of my WIPs of hers. Alright, so here we go. These ones are the Heaven and Earth designs. So if you're not interested in looking at Heaven and Earth design patterns, you may want to stop. I like Heaven and Earth designs though. They're full coverage. I'm doing them all over one tent stitch. Well, at least I'm not. The ones I have going right now are all over one tent stitch. Some of them, you know, I've been doing cross-country stitching. One of them a couple of them I'm practicing the parking method. This first one you'll see I'm parking. So it's kind of interesting. This first one is kind of a newer one of hers that was released by Heaven and Earth Designs. But anyway, so here are some of my Heaven and Earth designs that I have going right now. So anyway, without further ado, this first one, as I said, is by Jasmine Becket Griffith. This pattern is published by Heaven and Earth Designs with permission. This one is called Faces of Fairy 195. That's the picture of her. I have gridded the fabric to show you. I've gridded the fabric. I'm gridding all of my Heaven and Earth design fabrics to make it easier to stitch. But anyway, I am using these pens that you can get in the fabric notion sections of Joann's. They're the like fine tip, kind of like aqua blue pens. They're water soluble and eventually air soluble fabric marking pens. But anyway, so this is you can see my gridded fabric. I have it gridded up, and I will show you where I'm at. So this is the start. This is most of page 1. This is most of page 1 of the pattern. I'm still on page 1. Now I have all of these saved as PDFs. I have a kind of a printed copy for my own use, just in case my PDF file goes wonky on me. But I have a printed copy for backup. But you can see how tiny it is. Now, just for reference, this little coloring right here, right there, that darker coloring, that's part of her eyebrow. I will show you. So, I'm working, it's this corner here, right there, that little dark part, that's her eyebrow. So this can give you an idea of where I'm at. Okay. I don't know if you can see that real well. I don't know. Can you see that? Anyway. Alright, well, just to let you know, each one of these squares, each one of these blue squares, each one of these blue squares is 100 stitches. Each one of these squares is 10 threads by 10 threads. 100 stitches. So you can imagine, I already have a couple thousand stitches in here because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is exactly 10 squares down. And this is 10 squares over. 10, 20, 30, 40. So I'm approaching 4,000 stitches on this already. Yes, each one of these little squares is 100 stitches. Yep. I was kind of afraid to start my first Heaven and Earth design. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I wasn't sure about parking. I wasn't sure about overone, like all this overone. I wasn't sure about full coverage. Wasn't sure about gridding. Wasn't sure about all kinds of stuff. So what I did was, on their website, they have these free story keeps, or they have these free patterns that you can download. And one of them was a bride in pink. It was in pinks and creams. And it was a little bride story keep. Now the story keeps tend to be like almost bookmark size. So they tend to be, you know, an inch or two wide and about 6 or 7 inches long. So I downloaded and printed this little story keep pattern just to try it out. Found some pink even weave fabric and started. And it actually ended up not being that bad. So I went ahead and got my first big piece. I don't remember which one it was I bought. I think it was one coming up, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was the first one or if I went with one of these, the first one I finished of these. But anyway, Heaven and Earth designs aren't that bad. They're real easy, actually, especially if you do them in 10 stitch, which is basically just half cross stitch. A lot of people do them over one thread over one full cross, depending on the fabric count that you get. I've done all mine on 28 count. Most of the patterns that they sell, the recommended pattern is calls for 25 count, but I like 28 count. Haven't tried 32 count. My eyes are getting a little too old and I have to wear glasses, and I don't know. And those people that can do 40 count, wow, more power to you. But anyway, so this next design is another Jasmine Becket Griffith design. This is a quick stitch, also known as a QS in Heaven and Earth design terms. Porthole of Fantasy 2. Now she's kind of tans, and the color here in her fin, this is kind of pink, real pink. Tans, a little bit of aqua in her fin. You can't really see this in the picture, but like the fin is pink and aqua, but she's like mostly tan. She's got some white in her hair. Yeah, Porthole of Fantasy 2. And here's my progress. I'm doing this on white even weave. I've also gridded this in the blue pen. The other ones, I haven't finished gridding this, but anyway, this is the middle, the top, middle of the top. This is what I've got done so far. Again, each one of the squares is 100 stitches, 10 by 10. And she's kind of round, so you can see, like, I don't know if you can see some of the cream. Cream might be a little hard to see here. There's some cream coming at her. But she's round, so she's going to kind of cut off like this. And then come around. But I've only got part of the fabric gridded for this. If you're interested, at some point I can also kind of show you the how I stitch using my tablet for these, because I use a PDF file for these. But again, Heaven and Earth designs, if you haven't stitched one because you're afraid to, don't be afraid. These are actually real easy. Real easy patterns. Even for full coverage, these are real easy. Don't be intimidated. Get out there and do that. Alright, so let me see what they have next. Alright, so this next one is also a Heaven and Earth design, but it's from a different designer. And I think this was actually my first big this was my first big Heaven and Earth design pattern. I really loved the dress in this, and I was just kind of blown away by the autumn colors and everything in it. So this is my first Heaven and Earth design big ass project. BAP. Sorry about saying the word ASS, but big ass project. This is my first Heaven and Earth Designs BAP. This is kind of why I had tried to stitch the story keep before getting this. I'm going to take the fabric out first so you can see the pattern a little easier. But anyway, this is called Hunter's Moon. Artwork by Allison Spokes. The design on this is 450 stitches wide by 613 stitches high. It's on 18 wide by 24.5 inch high fabric, 25 count fabric. This chart contains 90 colors. Let that sink in. This chart contains 90 colors. This isn't even a max color chart. They have max color charts which can have like 200 colors in them. This only has 90 colors. Heaven and Earth Designs, Hunter's Moon. Artwork by Allison Spokes. This one kind of took my breath away a little bit when I first saw this on the website. I love the owl. I love the dress. I love her wings. I love that she's on a balcony of some sort. I just kind of really like her a lot. Right. Without further ado, again, I had it gridded, but it's been a little while since I've worked on it. The grid marks are wearing off, but with those pens, you can easily put them back on. I'll pull this out. I don't need this in here anymore. That's kind of annoying. So, this is what I've got. on Hunter's Moon. This is, I believe I'm on page 3. No, maybe I'm still on page 2. No, I think I'm on page 3. I'm on page 3. Oh, the other thing is this pattern has 40 pages. 40 pages of pattern, I believe. So, here's what I've got done so far on Hunter's Moon. Can you see that? Hunter's Moon. It's all over 1 tent stitching. Hunter's Moon. Again, each one of those boxes is 100 squares. I'm on page 3. You can see I have a long way to go. I don't know where my gridding is. I don't even know if you can still see my gridding. Yeah, you can see some of my gridding. Well, maybe not on the thing, but yeah. Anyway, Hunter's Moon. Alright. This is on some of that mushroom. The mushroom colored even weave fabric that you can buy at Michael's or Joann's. I think this was a piece of Joann's. I think it came in a little bundle. It's like 27 by 28 or whatever that big piece is. This is mushroom linen, or not linen, sorry, mushroom even weave. I've kind of determined that I'm going to be doing a lot of these heaven and earth designs on even weave just to make the stitches all look even. And I can get, since they're full coverage, I can get just the white or the natural or the cream and make them easy to work on. And I don't have to spend a whole crap ton of money on specialty stuff. So anyway, that's what I'm doing with these. So this was my first heaven and earth design back purchase, big ass project purchase and start. So we have Hunter's Moon. Alright. And I believe there's 40 pages of pattern. Alright, so this next one and the last one in this tub. Yay, it's the last one in this tub. I don't even know what this one's for, so that's going to go away. Alright. This was the second, besides that white willow stitching Celtic rose pattern, this was the next purchase that I made. Kind of keeping along the lines of, the Asian patterns. This one is by Charting Creations. This is called Blossom Blade, and the artwork is by Max Windy. M-A-X-W-I-N-D-Y. Max Windy. Used under license from Shutterstock.com. This chart uses 90 DMC colors and is 450 wide by 337 high. You take the fabric out. Okay. This one is Charting Creations presents Blossom Blade. I kind of liked her because she was Asian, kind of anime. She's got the anime-esque look. My husband liked her because of the sword and everything. So, anyway, this is one of my other starts. Started this one weekend at my mother-in-law's house. The one that I was at for the Sternwheeler Festival a couple weeks ago. Started this at her house a couple years ago now. And haven't gotten very far. Just working on the corner. Using the same mushroom even weave from Joann's or Michael's, because it's readily available. It comes in a big enough size and it's fairly inexpensive. I only have this partial. Do I have this whole? I have this thing whole gridded. You can kind of see the grid. I have this thing gridded mostly, but the grid's fading because I haven't worked on it in a while. So the grid lines are fading. The nice thing about these pens is you can remark the grid lines. Blossom Blade, that's all I got done up here in the corner. I'm stitching it this way so you don't get a seam down a column, so you can, and this is all one color anyway. There's a lot of the one color because I'm working in this upper corner I don't know if you can see, it's all white up in here. So that's where I'm working at. Blossom blade. Alright, so let me get this put away. Hold it this way. That kind of wraps up my work in progress. My WIP parade. That really wraps up my WIP parade. I think this video is going to be like almost an hour and 45 minutes with all the extra stuff that I'm probably going to add to it. So thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this WIP parade. I hope if you haven't stitched the Heaven and Earth design that you decide that you want to go do it, because they're really not that bad. Or any of the other companies that publish big ass projects and full coverage projects. They're not that bad. They might be a little time consuming, but they're not that bad. Hey, and if you want to stitch them quicker, do like I do and stitch them up 10 stitch, which is half cross stitch. There's several different ways to do 10 stitch. You can look at videos on YouTube. There's continental 10 stitch and, you know, basket stitch and, you know, just typical half cross stitch, modified half cross stitch, and just all kinds of stuff out there. So just Google it, YouTube it. I'm sure you can find instruction on it. Alright, so that kind of wraps up my work in progress parade, my WIP parade for right now. So now I guess I can just do basic updates. I don't know how often in the next few weeks I'm going to be recording videos, because I'm going to be busy with work. We're 2 weeks behind with September audits right now, and I'm going to California in 2 weeks for a week. So I actually need to get all of my September stuff that we're 2 weeks behind on done in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. And that doesn't include the stuff that we get assigned this next week and the following week. So yeah, I have a lot to do. So I'm probably going to... Hi again, sorry about that. My camera cut off. So yeah, like I was saying, I have a lot to do in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be busy. I'm going to be working a lot of overtime. I have some, you know, some stuff coming up that I'm really going to take care of. And I might actually end up doing this. You might not actually see another video from me for a little while, unless I just need a break and just want to stitch or something. I'm considering doing a stitch with me. I don't know when that will be, if it will be. And I also still need to get you a kind of a walkthrough of some of the stuff hanging up in my house and some of the other fully finished pieces that I have completed. So I know that's coming. I just don't know if it'll be before or after my California trip. So anyway, without further ado, it's just after midnight here in Columbus, Ohio, and I want to thank you for watching my videos and subscribing. I can't remember if I'm going to be attaching pictures to this, but anyway, if I do, I hope you enjoy the pictures. If I don't, well, you may see pictures at a later date. So yeah, that's about it for me. Now I have to get all these beads. Remember those beads that I pulled out? All of these beads, you can probably hear them. Beads. I have to get all these beads added to my bead storage system and put away my WIPs and kind of go to bed because I'm really tired tonight. I have a busy day tomorrow. Shopping. We got grocery shopping. When the weather finally cools down, I get to mow my yard. I have to mow my yard at least one more time before the fall hits and the grass stops growing. I also have to baby shower tomorrow. I have to work a lot of overtime to get my stuff done before my trip to California, and yeah, it's gonna be hectic. So I actually may not post anything for a little while, and I hope you guys bear with me. I may actually post from California, who knows. So anyway, I wish you guys well. I hope everything's going well for you guys. Once again, hi to BluebirdStitches, who is a stitcher who shows up at my local needlework shop on Wednesday nights with me. She's a lot of fun. If you get a chance to, go to her YouTube page, look her up, watch her videos. She's pretty funny. She has some cute stories to tell. Alright? Alright, so I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for going with me on my WIP parade. I hope it was a hit. A hit WIP parade. Alright. Talk to you later. Bye.